What's going on, you guys? It's Keenan Briggs with Living My Bliss. I got a personal story. I'm gonna open up. Um, I like this lighting. This lighting feels pretty good. Anyway, so I the other day I was in a. It seemed to be like a depressed state, but I'm not depressed. But it felt like I had something within me that needed to be released, and it was a complete dis-ease. So last night I was at home and I was just relaxing, and I just had a headache. My stomach didn't feel good, and logic told me go get some aspirin or some Tylenol or whatever, and get rid of your headache and lay down. But the the emotional side of me said, no, there's a dis-ease, this headache and this irritation in my stomach is a symptom. And instead of masking this headache with a medicine that's going to just alleviate the pain for a certain amount of time, it was more of I need to figure out what it is that is causing this disease. And then I said to myself, well, I don't want to figure out what it is. I just want to get rid of it. There's no reason to go back and relive whatever it is that's being stored within me. So I tried laying down and just relaxing my mind, and that didn't work out. So then I got up and I went outside and I walked for about maybe about 30, 45 minutes. And it was at midnight already, so it was really late, and I didn't really feel too comfortable walking around the area I live in. So um, I just walked up and down the street, and I called one of my friends, my friend Karen, and she basically said exactly what I needed to hear. And I call it, she read from the script that I knew already. So for example, most of us know what to do. Sometimes someone needs to tell us that thing. And that someone telling us that thing of what to do is simply, your own mind working for itself. They are just a reflection of your internal self. And they're reading from the script that you already predisposed or pre-scripted. I don't know if that's a phrase for them to say. So anyway, basically she said, there's energy around you that is not as consistent, and I was saying that's true, that's how I feel, and you need to just release it. So I said, okay. I went back home, and I've had a lot of mentors: Esther Hicks, Bob Proctor, um, Les Brown, and I've been reading a lot of the books, Neville Goddard, and just so on. Well, I sat down and I was thinking, all right, I'm going to just put myself in a place where I'm able to release everything that needs to be released. Esther Hicks said within one of our seminars that crying is a way that the body releases. And obviously, when I was going through my transition before with development and growing, I was releasing a lot of my old habits and ways of thinking, and I was crying a lot and so on. Anyway, so I'm sitting in bed, sitting up, and I lit a candle, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I had this emotion overcome me, and I'm like crying like I'm weeping. Weeping is probably the best word. I'm weeping like, I don't know, like I'm in the 1940s and I'm a wife, and I just found out my husband just died in the war, something like that. Like I was full on like drooling, tears on my like face and my hand, and like I just didn't care. I was just letting all of it out, right? And in my head, I was like, this is funny, because I had nothing to really be depressed about. I had nothing to really be just nothing, and I just let whatever it was, I let it out. So then it lasted probably a good solid 35 seconds. It felt like 10 minutes, but it was about 35 seconds. And then, part of me was like, I gotta man up. I said, no, I'm gonna let all of this out, and I'm going to just be in the moment and just enjoy this process because I know that this process is releasing a suppressed emotion that's within me. So I released it. That was it. And then I, blew my nostrils and mucus into my t-shirt that I had in front of me, wiped my face off, and then I just laid down and I turned on some, I don't know his name. I'm gonna look it up for you guys because it's actually pretty helpful. I really enjoyed it. His Paul Sanessy. All right. So it's just here's an image of his page. You can see that. Probably not, right? He literally just puts up sounds, binary beats, and he uses 3D recording for his voice. And all it is like the yoga meditation music, but he talks within it. He helps you. He speaks you through the thoughts that you need to be thinking. So it's a guided meditation, basically. And the one I chose to use for that night, last night, was a guided meditation for releasing negative. But it was about an hour. So I went through that whole video, and then the next video played. So I woke up realizing I went through 2 separate videos. But it was good because it was good. And I woke up and I felt fine. I felt so much better. I felt alive. And it said in the video to do this often. So I'm going to keep doing it until I feel the need not to need it anymore. But one thing I do want to point out is I used his video another time, maybe 3 or 4 days ago. And his video was about astral projections. I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. But at the end of the day, basically what it's supposed to create is this sensation of you leaving your physical body. Similar to how when you go to sleep, they say your soul leaves the body and so on. I'm not going to go too far into that because that's a whole other conversation. But I ended up using that video and I felt my body release, right? My soul release from my body. But I felt like something was holding my wrist down. Like I couldn't finish this levitation or this separation of the body. And in my head, I was saying, let go, like let go. But I wasn't saying it like I feel good. I was saying it like let go of me, let go of me. So then I didn't think anything of it. But then when I was weeping on my bed, I said something that has to be connected with something, whatever that was. So I kind of feel like I want to continue going through this process to get rid of that. And the great thing about where I'm at right now is I went through this transition, but it was good. And knowing that I'm going from point A to point B and having the control of this transition from point A to point B and being able to dictate when I make this transition and just the control of it, it's soothing. And also knowing that point B is coming now and point B is a happy place. It's great. Before I was in a place where I was not in a good place at all, and I had no idea why. I was lost. I didn't know what was going on, why things were happening the way they were happening. But now I feel like I have so much control. And then my goal is once I release completely this emotion, whatever it is, and I feel like I already have, but I want to keep going through it, making sure, just how Noah did when he released the dove twice, is just to make sure I know that I'm in a good spot and go from there. So if you had any type of situations or experiences consistent with this or like this, please shoot me an email at info@kingdombricks.com. You can always comment below and we'll go from there. So shout out to Logitech because I got a new webcam and the webcam is really nice. I have these nice little lights up here. I feel like the lighting is like just good. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.